so much backlight. Hold on. We're gonna move over here. So I want to talk about community today, and I know that I've talked about it before, and if you haven't heard me talk about it before, then you've probably heard somebody else ramble on and on about the importance of community, and probably either got it a million years ago or you're just tired of it. But what I've been thinking about a lot are faith communities, right? I've been thinking about this idea of how, so Proverbs tells us that the foolish man isolates himself. Jesus says where two or more are gathered, there will be. There's so many things that talk about community. And in Acts, when it's talking about the first church with the original disciples, all of that jazz, community is a huge part of the first church. And it should be a huge part of our churches. If you're a Christian and you're not an invested part of a faith community, you gotta get on that ASAP. Let me tell you this way. So I know a guy who he's down on his luck. He can never seem to get his ducks in a row. It's not that he's not trying, it's that every time he does try, life comes in and just knocks it over. And it's tough. It's a hard place to be. But there's people in his church. He's a well-loved, well-respected member of a church. And there's so many people in his church that will bend over backwards for this guy. And there's so many people that will even go out of their way to make sure that he's doing okay. They'll drop everything just to help this dude. So chances are that as I was telling that little story, if you will, that you probably thought of at least one person in your church or in your life elsewhere that fits that bill, right? That sort of fits the mold, that everybody helps out. And chances are you've been a part of that, right? And we do a good job most of the time of helping people as a church. But then there's those questions that follow those stories, right? Why don't we do more? Why do we still have those huge parts of the church that just don't look like they should, that don't look like that first church that we hear about in Acts? This is what I have to say to that. We're not going to be perfect. Jesus doesn't call us to be perfect. The church is full of people, which, spoiler alert, mess up. People mess up. That's how we are. So my challenge, question, whatever, challenge is kind of a cheesy word, but you get it, for you is this. What are you doing to fight to make your church, your faith community, more of a community, a better community, if you will? More like that sort of ideal depiction of a community in a church that we see in the early church.